Yeah, I did it. I almost got crazy during the process, but I did it. I mean, it was for the good of the video. During more than 1 month, I spent my entire free time analyzing thousands of landscape photos in order to find the worst mistakes people make. And you won't believe what I found. The key to taking stunning landscape photos actually lies in a simple pre-shoot strategy. Instead of trying to fix mistakes in post-processing, it's much easier to avoid them altogether by taking the right approach from the start. And the good news is that these mistakes are very easy to avoid. So, do you want to know these mistakes and how to avoid them in a very easy way? Then follow me. Oh my god, it's harder than I remember. Well, where we are here right now is a very special place for me, but not because I take an epic photo, which I did, as you can see right now. It is because when I took this picture a long time ago, it was the first time that I prepared a shot like a real landscape photographer. I mean, I check out the weather apps to know if it will be fog or not, I check out the direction of the sun during the sunrise, and so on and so on. And the result was much better than I expected. Anyway, we are not here for this reason. We are here because I think this place is a really good example to talk about the mistakes people do in similar situations. So, let's keep walking. Alright, in my humble opinion, this mistake is the worst one, for the simple reason that when you make it, you can make other mistakes very easily. When you arrive late to your photo location, you won't have enough time to find a good composition. Plus, if you're like me, you will start running like a chicken with a head trying to find a nice composition while you are missing the best light. And in the end, the photo it won't be good enough. Unfortunately, I've been a lot of times late in my photo location even if I planned to be on time. I just remember once that I wanted to photograph the Palatinate forest in Germany during the sunrise. It was one of these magic mornings in the end of October when the valley was full of fog and the trees had the best colors of autumn. So I woke up 3 hours earlier than the sunrise, I drove like 2 hours to my location, and when I was hiking through the forest, I lost myself. Well, in my defense, I have to say that it was my first time there and it was completely dark. Luckily, I had my GPS in my hand, so I could find my path again, but sadly, I didn't arrive on time, probably 2 or 3 minutes earlier than the sunrise. However, this happened like 4 years ago, when Instagram was on fire for landscape photography, so there were a lot of people taking photos in this location. And for whatever reason, when a photographer saw me completely lost, he told me, "Hey, come here, this is the best spot." So I went there, grabbed my camera, didn't even have time to change my lens. I have a long lens where usually in this place most of the people use a wide-angle lens, and without thinking too much, I made a pano. Well, I guess that day I was quite lucky, because if I weren't photographers there, I wouldn't have enough time to think in a good composition. So the point is that we have to be... Calma. So the point is that we have to be always early in the photo location to minimize all the mistakes. Alright, as you can see, I have to move my position. Suddenly, some people arrived there and they were talking a lot, so I couldn't make a video properly there. And actually, I think this place is much better for the photo. And also, I am more comfortable here. Well, another silly mistake that all the beginners do, including myself, is to try to capture all the view. Take our wide-angle lens and shoot all the panorama. Actually, it's what I did myself the first time that I came here, 1 year earlier than the photo that I showed you before. And when I saw the picture on the computer, I said, "This photo sucks. I mean, look at here. What is interesting, all the view or just a piece of it?" So if we look here, in the other side of the river, there is a town there, which is completely irrelevant. So why do we have to add it to the photo? If we add the town to the photo, it will distract the viewer for the interesting parts of the picture. So when we are out trying to find a composition, we have to focus on what is interesting and forget about the rest. Actually, in my humble opinion, a wide-angle lens is not the best choice for landscape photography. In fact, I only use it when I have a nice foreground in front of me. Usually, I use a long lens, and in case that all the view it doesn't fit, I just make a pano. And now let's talk about the worst composition mistake people usually do. A couple of months ago I was talking with my colleague, which is a very big fan of my videos, and he told me that after watching my videos he's always looking for leading lines when he's taking photos. He showed me his photos and I said, very well, you pay attention in my videos, but you forgot the most important about the leading lines. And then I asked, where are these leading lines pointing? And he didn't know what to say. So in the end, the key for a good leading line is to guide the viewer to the most important elements of the photo, and not lead the viewer out of the frame. So in case that you have leading lines that don't guide you to the most important element of the photo, keep it simple and don't add them to the photo. Otherwise, they are gonna be quite distracting for the viewer. Example, in the photo of today, we found out an interesting leading line. I'm gonna use the road as a leading line to guide us to the church, which is our most important element of the photo. This is really cold. Alright, with the new social media platforms like TikTok, I am watching a lot of pictures with a crop 9:16, which is not very common in landscape photography, but there is no rule saying that is forbidden. Anyway, what makes me crazy is to see photos where all the important elements of the photo are in 1/3 of the frame and the other 2/3 of the photo being completely empty with no interest. For example, I saw a photo of a nice tree which was located in the bottom part of the photo, and the other 2/3 of the photo was an empty sky with no interest. At least, if there were a huge cloud in the sky to balance the photo, I would understand, but an empty sky… I mean, more of the half of the photo has no interest, so how can we solve it? It's very simple, you can just crop the photo, 1x1, 4x5, or whatever you like. Anyway, when we are taking pictures, we have to organize the space on the photo. An easy way to organize the space in our landscape photos could be like this. We split the photo in two, one could be the foreground and the other part the sky. Then we have to decide which part of the photo is gonna be the most important one. And when we know it, we give it to this part 2/3 of the photo, and to the other part 1/3 only. And that's it. Just remember to don't split the photo from the half, because otherwise both parts will have the same importance in the photo, and the picture will be lack of interest and boring as well, because the viewer won't know which one is the most important part of the photo. Alright, I'm getting really cold here. And to warm up, I need to move. When I was coming here, I see another potential picture, so let's go there to talk about more mistakes in landscape photography while we take another picture. Alright, I feel much better right now. I was really surprised when I saw that this mistake is more common than I thought, because nowadays all the cameras and lenses has image stabilization. So yeah, I saw more shaky pictures than I thought. In landscape photography, we're always looking for the best image quality. I mean, it's not like wildlife photography or sport photography where you have to be very fast to take the photo. In landscape photography, you have enough time to find the best image quality and sharpness for your photos. And the easiest way to have the best image quality in your photos is very simple. Yes, you have to use a tripod. Okay, I know what you're thinking. It's quite annoying to bring a tripod until here. But in the end, it's the price that we have to pay to have the best quality in our photos. When we are ready with the setting of the camera, we remove all the image stabilization we have from the camera and from the lens, we put the 2 or 10-second timer on our camera, we push the trigger, and then we remove our hands from the camera. In this way, we don't move the camera or the tripod with our hands, and I guarantee you that the picture will be sharper than ever. In case that you don't have a tripod, there is an old secret formula that calculates how much could be the lowest shutter speed that you can use depending on which lens you use, but it will take a bit of time to explain it now. So in case you wanna know the formula, let me know in the comments. Also, when we are using a tripod, it gives us more flexibility to be more creative. For example, here I can increase the shutter speed a bit more and have this ethereal effect on the water. One of my other mistakes would be rely only in the sunrise or in the sunset to take some photos. And in fact, some of my favorite photos didn't happen during the golden hour. Anyway, as you can see today, the light is completely flat and lack of interest. I could say that today is the worst day of the year to take some photos. So if you wanna find a nice photo in these kind of days, you have to rely on your composition skills. And the best way to improve your composition skill is to go out and take some photos. So in the end, the more you go out, the better will be your photos. Anyway, for me, today was the only day that I have free to go out. Fortunately, when I had more free time in my Christmas holidays, I was sick, so I couldn't even move from my bed. And since today was the only day that I could go out, I didn't care about the light or anything. I just grabbed my camera and I went out. Well, I know my photos of today, they're not gonna be my best ones, but in the end, I prefer to go out than stay at home and do nothing. And in case that you go out in days like this and you don't find any decent photo, don't worry, you can always explore well the zone, and when the light is perfect, you can always come back and have your best photos. But the truth is that all this information that I gave it to you is gonna be useless unless you watch this other video and learn how to make the best compositions in landscape photography. And that's it for today, so in case you want to improve your photography with real examples in a very simple way, don't forget to subscribe. Agur eta hurrengo arte!